Good morning. Today I'm taking you guys along on some dive jobs so you can kind of see some of the things that we get to do on a daily basis. First one, we inspected this mooring buoy for a client because he just wanted to make sure that it was all safe and good to go for his boat. And well, it wasn't. Chain was wearing thin in a few areas. He only has a few 5-gallon buckets for an anchoring system. What we did was yesterday we made up 2 more 5-gallon buckets. So each one has about 15 feet of chain in it, and then an 80-pound bag of concrete, 1/2-inch long length galvanized chain. Nice and strong, they weigh about 80 pounds each. Once we're done with that, we do have kind of an exciting project. So we're at the job site here. We have to replace that mooring buoy with this. This is gonna be the new mooring buoy. It's a nice heavy duty chain on here. The mooring line all set up and ready to go, 15-footer. So we'll get this all set up. First thing I'm gonna do is go double check the depth measurement, and then we'll get this one all set up for that appropriate length. Our bucket of tools here. Throw on the dry suit, and then we'll get to it. Now, our day as divers never quite starts until we put the dry suit on. They get us to work every day, and when we put the suit on, we mean business. So I've got this tape measure on a reel. I'm going out there real quick to take a final depth measurement before we set the actual length. I've got a shackle on the end of it so I can weigh down the tape measure. So I'm getting about a 15-foot water depth. So the actual depth ended up being about 18 feet. So we have a 15-foot line that we have, and then I'm swapping out from that 3-foot chain. We're going up to a 6-foot. So there's a little bit of wiggle room in case the water level rises, or we have to account for swell and wakes and things like that. But since this is sort of a tight community, we want everything to be nice and tight. We don't want too much swing on these buoys because then the boats will be bouncing and knocking into each other. Here, side on the swivel, and then just put the pin through the chain link. Yes, that did hurt. Shackle right to the shin. Now Tristan is working on tightening down all the shackles, and yes, we tighten them down with a spud wrench and pry bar, and then we wrap them multiple times with stainless season wire. We want these systems to last for years to come without our clients having to worry about them. Now I'm bringing down these buckets one by one because they are a little heavy. Now we heard this supercar start up right next to us and then take off out of the driveway, and now Tristan was trying to figure out who it belonged to.
He didn't tell me. Sel wanted to ask him about his cars.
Oh, that's not his.
Oh.
No, they live like up the hill.
Oh, okay. I thought you told me that was him. Okay.
Kind of looks like it would be, huh?
Yeah, it kind of did, yeah.
So we're gonna bring everything down. This big yellow bag that you see, that's the lift bag. It's a 500-pound lift bag, and we're using that to float all the gear out there, the anchors and everything like that. And now the only thing left to do is to throw in our dive gear and get out there. So I was able to float all of the gear out there, and the buckets are just hanging from this 500-pound lift bag. This is going to be a little tricky because I only have one hand to work with because the camera mount broke. I'm pulling on the drawstring for the lift bag right now just to try and get it just slightly negative. We don't want it too negative. We don't want to let all the air out because then everything's going to shoot straight to the bottom. We're just trying to do a nice controlled descent just like this. And then once we get to the bottom, we don't have a big silty cloud that's ruining our visibility. Now, sometimes in the diving industry, we have spectators, and today was no exception. So these look like crappie or bluegill, and I've never had this species of fish come up to me in a small school like this and then just stare at me in this like curiosity and amazement. Usually sometimes the bubbles kind of scare them off, but it seemed like this actually attracted them, and they were very, very curious. It was such a cool moment. Certainly the most memorable part of the dive. Now let's do a little before and after. Here are the anchors. You can see why we wanted to add some additional anchors that had better connection points. You can see ours, how they're full to the brim with concrete, got chain going through it. Beforehand, he had some very thin dock line as rope, and now he's hooked up with some 1-inch double braid nylon. He's got a float to keep everything off bottom from chafing. Now the mooring rope itself was actually chafing through, and now he's got some nice heavy duty chain on there. So this system is going to be good for years to come. So once we're done with that, we do have kind of an exciting project. There's kind of a lot that's going to go into it, but it's a AquaGlide Skyrocket. This is the AquaGlide Skyrocket 30. Pretty cool. It's kind of like a trapeze kind of thing. You grab onto there and then swing off and jump out into the water. Pretty cool. So this particular camp has had issues with getting that structure to anchor. All right, so this is the structure that we're anchoring up today. It was tied off to the dock. They've been having issues with it. Well, first look at this view. They're hiring us, the professionals, to go in and install actual screw anchors into the lake bed so that this thing's going to be nice and secure, because it's recommended that this needs about 6,000 pounds of anchors. These screw anchors, they only weigh about 30 pounds and they have a holding capacity of typically up to 10,000 pounds, depending on the substrate. These anchors are 60 inches tall, so after we get past that 2 feet of muck, it could be rock, it could be cobble, it could be bedrock, you know, it could be clay. We never really know until we get started. So that one's going to be a little bit interesting. And for that, we've got some mooring lines and floats made up for them, so it's easy access, so they can just clip and unclip the Skyrocket to it, and those lines are going to stay out there all year round. Yeah, looking very forward to it. And all right, let's go get started. Working on installing 6 buoys in a circle, and we're going to try and fit the trapezoid inside of the circle. So that's going to be interesting. This is where we're at today. Installing this guy. Now here is a video of just one of the mooring lines after installation. Keep in mind that we had to install 6 of these, so it was quite a bit of work. Now the reason that we installed these in a circle configuration is that so next season when they want to add some other toys, they can easily do that and put them in whichever configuration they would like. It was a pretty fun job and a really fun project. Now one of the coolest things that I got to see was CHUNGUS. He is like the resident bass at this camp. So all the lifeguards, all the staff know who he is. They see him all the time. He lives under that dock, and he is probably the largest largemouth bass I've ever seen. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you guys enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and if you got any questions or got any feedback, leave it down in the comments. Thank you guys so much. We'll catch you on the next one. Dive safe.